Recording in progress. Ms. Cushingberry, am I supposed to be able to see the executive session?
The camera is off in executive session right now.
Okay, thank you. Hey, Ms. Johnson, I sent a message. I think I copied you, which is the presentation on the affordable housing. Can that be printed and placed at Colonel Geyer's seat?
Yes, I'll print that out.
Thank you, ma'am.
To the Beaufort County Board of Education semi-monthly meeting. It is October 7th, 2025 at 5 p.m. And this public session will begin at 6 p.m. in hybrid video conferencing. And this meeting will be broadcast by the county channel. I'm not going to read the public comments piece at this time. I will read them before public comments begins. Mr. Nate, can you have a motion to call or to provide the executive session?
Yes, Mr. Chair. I move that we enter executive session regarding for the personal or for the following reasons. Employment matter regarding personal ratification report, employment, appointment, promotion, compensation pursuant to South Carolina Code annotated section 30 TAC 4 TAC 70A1. Discussion of proposed award of LED lighting replacement services contract RFP number 26 TAC 004 pursuant to South Carolina Code annotated section 30 TAC 4 TAC 70A2. Discussion of negotiation incident to proposed purchase of property of South Carolina or Southern Beaufort County pursuant to South Carolina Code annotated section 30 TAC 4 TAC 70A2, and discussion of Phase 6A renovations scope at the District Education Service Center pursuant to South Carolina Code annotated section 30 TAC 4 TAC 70A2.
Have a second? Second by Dr. Carr. Any discussion?
Yes, sir.
Seeing no hands.
Yes, sir.
Is that Mr. Smith?
How you doing, sir? Who will be advising us in executive session?
Good evening. District staff will be advising.
Thank you very much.
Okay. All right. Thank you. So all those in favor in the room, please signify by saying aye. Aye. I got 4. And online, Ms. Boatwright?
Aye.
Ms. Boatwright is aye. Mr. Dallas?
Aye.
That Mr. Dallas is an aye. And Mr. Smith? Mr. Smith? Mr. Smith, you're muted. Okay, I'll go to
Aye.
Miss. Okay, got the Mr. Smith is aye. Miss Frazier.
Frazier, aye.
Miss Frazier is an aye. And Mr. Dallas.
Aye.
Miss Dallas is aye. So we have everyone except for Mr. Gordon or Pastor Gordon, Miss Gordon, and Miss Hay. But the motion carries. So we'll now go into executive session.
Recording in progress.
It's now 6 o'clock and call the 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 meeting to order. Mr. Nay, is there any actions as necessary or appropriate regarding matters discussed in executive session?
Yes, Mr. Chair, we have 4 motions. First one, I move that the Board of Education approve the superintendent's recommendations for employment listed on the September 1st, 2025 through September 30th, 25 personnel ratification report.
Do we have a second? Second by Mr. Small. Discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor in the room signify by saying aye. Aye. Okay. Online, Ms. Gordon? Okay, I don't hear from Ms. Gordon. Mr. Dallas?
Aye.
Aye. Is that Mr. Dallas?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
It is.
All right, thank you. Ms. Frazier?
Frazier, I.
Raise your eye. Ms. Hay?
Hay, I.
And Ms. Gordon? Okay, are there any, pardon me? She said aye. Got, okay. Any nays? Mr. Smith?
Mr. Smith is a no.
And Mr. Smith is no. Motion carries. Next item, sir.
Item number 2, I move that the Board of Education authorize the superintendent to issue an award for RFP number 26-004. The board authorizes the superintendent to execute a contract with the contractors upon the expiration of the protest period.
Second? Second by Dr. Carr. Any discussion? Okay. Hearing none, all those in the room signify by saying aye. Aye. Online, Ms. Gordon?
Raise your hand.
Raise your hand. Okay, I take that as an aye. Mr. Dallas?
Dallas is an aye.
Thank you, Mr. Dallas. Ms. Frazier?
Frazier, I.
Thank you, Ms. Frazier. And Ms. Hay?
Hay, I.
And Ms. Boatright, it was not available at this time. Any nays?
Mr. Smith is going to be abstention.
Abstain. One abstention. Motion carries.
Number 3, I move that the Board of Education approve amendment number 110 with Thompson Turner Construction Incorporated for the District Educational Services Center Phase 6A renovations based on the guaranteed maximum price proposal of $1,209,963 using 2023 and 2027 8% funds.
Do I have a second? Second by Dr. Carr. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor in the room, please signify by saying aye. Aye. And Ms. Gordon?
Hands up.
Hand is up, thank you. Mr. Dallas?
Dallas is an aye.
Mr. Dallas is an aye. Ms. Frazier?
Frazier, I.
Thank you, Ms. Frazier. Ms. Hay?
Hay, I.
Ms. Boatright is not available. Are there any nays?
Mr. Smith is nay.
Mr. Smith is nay. Motion carries.
And finally, I move that the Board of Education approve the superintendent to purchase a property in South Beaufort County using the proceeds of prior land sales and fiscal year 24 capital fund projects transfer funds of $4,610,000.
Do I have a second? Dr. Carr? All those, any discussion? See no hands up. All those in favor in the room, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Online, Ms. Gordon?
Hands up.
My hand is up. Thank you. Mr. Dallas?
Dallas is an aye.
Dallas is an aye. Ms. Frazier?
Frazier, I.
Thank you. Ms. Hay?
Hay, I.
And is there any nays or abstentions?
In terms of moving, I'm just going to abstain. I'm just going to abstain for right now.
Okay, that motion is passed. Thank you very much.
Mr. Chair, that concludes all executive session business.
Thank you very much. Next item is approval of the agenda. We do have one little scheduling issue. The Bluffton High School String Orchestra is in traffic somewhere, so we will have to incorporate them when they arrive, unless there's an objection. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda? So moved by Dr. Carr. Do I have a second?
I will second that
There,
motion.
Mr. Smith is a second. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in the room, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Online, Ms. Gordon? Hand is up. Thank you. Mr. Dallas?
Dallas, aye.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Frazier?
Frazier, I.
Thank you, ma'am. Ms. Hay?
Hay, I.
Thank you, ma'am. And Ms. Ingrid Boatright is not available, or Pastor Gordon is not available. So the motion carries. Next item is the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
And to the republic stand, one nation,
under God,
under God,
indivisible,
indivisible,
with
with
liberty.
liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing for the moment of silence. Thank you. Has the media been notified, Ms. Cushenberry? All right. We now will move, because the orchestra is not here yet, we'll go to points of celebration, and we have an August Student of the Month from Northern Beaufort County School District, 8th grade student, Alejandro Martinez Lemas. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, from Robert Smalls Leadership Academy.
Mr. Chair, the character ed for August, we're celebrating Student of the Month, and August's character trait were friendship and kindness. And friendship's defined as the emotions or conduct of friends, the state of being friends. Kindness is defined as the quality of being friendly, generous, and considerate. And the August Student of the Month for Northern Beaufort County is Alejandro Martinez Llamas, an 8th grade student at Robert Smalls Leadership Academy. And Principal Bradley Terrence is here to introduce Alejandro.
Alejandro, come on up here. Thank you. Anybody who knows me knows that I appreciate authenticity. And this nomination for friendship and kindness deals with a very authentic young man right here. And you'll hear it in these stories that I'm about to tell you. I'm going to read it verbatim from the teacher. Alejandro has exemplified the August Student of the Month characteristic of friendship and kindness in the best of ways. First, he has been very kind to his peers during those sometimes awkward get-to-know-you activities. He tries to include others and socialize with everybody respectively and actively listen when they spoke. This was wonderful to see and sent a good sign that he was going to be a great addition to the class. However, his initial kindness was not that moment where I knew he deserved the recognition as Student of the Month. One day in class, my students were practicing writing claims, counterclaims, and rebuttals to different topics. After writing those arguments, students were required to get up and share their work with a peer and get feedback on what was strong and what needed extra work. A student of mine with particular needs who struggles to make friends made a comment to me, "No one will work with me. I do not have any friends." I was prepared to look around the room to find a group that he could join, but Alejandro beat me to it. Before I would glance around, Alejandro stood up, walked over to this student and said, "Want to trade papers for our feedback?" The other student immediately smiled and relaxed with Alejandro. Alejandro wrote kind but constructive feedback and then traded papers back after the other student finished. At the end, the other student whispered, "Thanks," to Alejandro and went back to his seat. I watched this interaction with warmth in my heart and a smile on my face to see a student care about another human being. And this human being being included and interacted with despite disabilities gave us hope for this year and with this class. Alejandro has not only continued to help talk with and guide this student in class, but has chosen to sit beside the student each day to the point where that's his actually assigned seat now. Alejandro has made a difference with his kindness and friendly demeanor for that student and our classroom and our school. I'm very proud of you. I'm very proud to be your principal. This teacher is very proud of you. Continue doing what you're doing, Alejandro.
Locked off a motion out of executive session.
Pardon me?
I left the motion out of executive session, so Victor's gonna read it.
Okay.
The LED lights.
Oh, okay. I got it.
Mr. Chair, before we move on, my apologies. I left a motion on.
Yes, sir. Can you, these lights are for what building?
All of them.
Uh,
All of them.
In terms of LED lights, in terms of,
Replacement for all of the lighting that we have right now to turn it into LED lighting. It's a 3-year period.
okay.
Okay, any other questions? All right. All those in favor of this motion, please in the room signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Online, Ms. Gordon?
Her hand.
Yeah, has her hand raised? Thank you, Ms. Gordon. Mr. Dallas?
Alice, I.
Dallas as an aye. Thank you, sir. Ms. Frazier?
Frazier, I.
Thank you, ma'am. Ms. Hay?
Hay, I.
Ms. Boatright is not available. Ms. Pastor Gordon is not available. Any abstentions or no votes?
Ms. Smith's gonna vote no on this. Thank you.
Okay, as in one no vote, the motion carries. All right.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. That concludes.
Thank you. We have, the next item is a school board member.
Mr. Chair?
Yes,
Before we move on, I'd like to share some good news and extend a thanks. Through the Furniture Design Warehouse restocked the classroom public vote. Robert Small's Leadership Academy was nominated by our community and chosen as a winner. And thanks to this generous donation, Robert Small's Leadership Academy classroom will be restocked with the supplies that teachers and students need to be successful. Later this evening, the board will be voting on that donation, but I wanted to go ahead and make those comments. We're grateful to Furniture Design Warehouse Restock the Classroom for their investment in education and to our community for rallying behind Robert Small's Leadership Academy. It's a recognition and support, shows the strength of our partnerships and the value that our community places on education. So thank you again to FDW for helping us ensure that our students have every opportunity to thrive.
thank you, sir. Next item is a school board member recognition. This is a Boardmanship Institute training report and an award to our very own certificate of achievement to Victor Ney, reaching level 2 of the Boardmanship Institute. Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks. Can't wait to put that on the wall.
Yes. Okay. A chair's report in your packet, and we'll make sure that we get it to those of you that are remote. A copy of a joint meeting with the school board and county council on September 30th concerning the multi-county industrial park. I think it's a very good report done by Councilwoman Tabernick that talks about all the things that were discussed at that meeting. So it's now public and it is available for you all to read if you were not able to attend. Also, we ask that everybody that was interested in serving on an ad hoc policy committee, and I have the names of the people that said that they wish to participate. Ms. Frazier. Okay. Mr. Smith, Mr. Ney, Ms. Boatwright, Pastor Gordon, and Ms. Hay. So those 6 people will comprise of the policy committee. And so the next item for this committee to do is to set an initial meeting date with Ms. Cushenberry. So Ms. Cushenberry will reach out to every member of that committee and see when you're available to meet, and in person if possible for that first meeting.
Yeah.
There's somebody has something to say?
Ms. Frazier, we can hear you.
Sorry.
Okay, that's all right. The first item on business when you have that meeting is to elect a chair. The committee will meet and elect the chair. And then at that meeting, establish a work plan to brief the full board on what the work plan will be, and establish milestones for products. So Ms. Cushenberry will be reaching out to you, and I thank you all for volunteering to sit on that committee. We still don't have any word on our orchestra, so we'll go and start with committee reports until they arrive. The first committee report is the academic committee. Ms. Gordon, you are online, but your assistant, other board committee member is here, Dr. Carr. If you'd like, would you like to say something before he begins? Okay, I don't hear. Okay, no, go ahead, Dr. Carr. Is it working?
The academic committee met on September 23rd, and membership included board members Chloe Gordon, Leah Frazier, and myself. Staff members in attendance included from the superintendent's office, Dr. Mello Lee, deputy superintendent. From instructional services, Karen McKenzie, second director for teaching and learning, Emily Gray, health and physical fitness coordinator, Dr. Stratus, chief instructional officer, and from student services, Karen Studer, district nurse, and Dr. Chad Cox, student services chief officer. The meeting started with a motion to amend the agenda to add new administrative regulation for review of student services 47.1, student seizures. So there was some language and a policy change to address student seizures and how they're addressed in the schools. Upon approval, the meeting continued with required agenda formalities and approval of prior minutes. Instructional services then presented Operation Expectation 12.0 through 12.17. The presentation provided evidence and practices for each OE subsection, and a motion was unanimously passed to place the OE on the October 7th Beaufort County Board of Education consent agenda. The meeting continued with administrative regulation presentations. The following ARs updates were shared. Student goals and priorities, equal education opportunities and non-discrimination, assignment of students to classes, administration of resident students, administration of homeless students, student rights and responsibilities, student involvement in decision-making, and student services. The meeting continued with an update from the Health Advisory Committee. Coordinator Emily Gray shared the committee's updates in regard to the district's compliance with Aaron's and Gavin's Law, Sections 59-32-20, Part B of the South Carolina Code of Laws. A parent letter that shares the instructional modules that students will participate in was provided. In conclusion of the meeting, the Health Advisory Committee was informed that they are the recipients of the South Carolina Alliance for Health, Physical Education, Recreation, and Dance Award. On November 14th, representatives from the district and committee will be in attendance to receive this award. That concludes my report.
Any questions for the academic committee? I see no hands. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
One thing I did not mention is we had no public comments for the first public comment session. Finance Committee, Mr. Dallas, are you prepared?
Yes, sir, I am. Thank you, Colonel. Thanks, fellow board members and people in the audience. The Finance Committee met and discussed the July transparency reports. CFO Tanya Crosby presented the July transparency reports, and committee members engaged in discussion following the presentation. One of the things that the Finance Committee and the staff has done, and we're very proud of, is look for ways to become more efficient while still ensuring that anyone who is interested can see the actual details at a very precise level. The next thing is the introduction of the new transparency analytics report, which is a new 6-page analytics report, and it's developed using a spreadsheet platform enhanced with AI. So we were very happy to learn that our Finance Committee and the staff are using AI features, and the report features visual graphics that simplify complex financial data. So it is very precise. You can identify where trends may need further discussion. And again, the next level down, you have access to the detail. The report is generated through a secure system and organized into a standardized template created by staff, significantly reducing production time and review time. The next item that was discussed is positive reception of new reporting format. Committee members responded positively to the new format, so thank the committee members, and staff will adopt this format for all future Finance Committee meetings. The full set of 100 plus transparency reports will continue to be accessible via a website link included in the board's report. I am working personally as a technophobe instead of a technophile to learn how to better utilize these reports. And I will hope that other board members will join me in trying to ascend that learning curve. We also have discussed with the CFO about engaging, and one of our Finance Committee members about engaging on how we might help train ourselves. So it's a team effort. The next topic was the expansion of AI enhanced reporting, where feasible finance staff will pilot additional public reports using the new AI enhanced format. The fourth quarter financial summary was presented showing favorable results. Administration projects a 6.8 million increase in the fund balance for fiscal year 2024 through 2025, bringing the total to 21%, which gives us a little bit more cushion in terms of unexpected things that could happen in society or life or the marketplace. This aligns with the board's previously expressed interest in a modest increase. The Minority Women's Business Enterprise Report, Director of Procurement, Ms. Kaylee Yinger, presented the Minority Women Business Enterprise. Report as of June 30th, in accordance with the district's procurement code, the district aims to allocate 10% of its controllable budget to certified MWBEs. For the 6-month period, 3.2% was spent with certified MWBEs and 14.11%, approximately 21 million, was spent with all MWBEs, including non-certified vendors. Before I go on, I also would like to share with the colleagues there and the public that's there. One of the things that we're looking at and we'll be seeing shortly is the budget book. And so that's an opportunity. I think the Finance Committee has taken a real good effort to ensure that the level of granularity is there and can answer a lot of questions. I think it will be 216 pages. And there's so much detail in there about things that are occurring. And I think it will equip the board members to actually go into the public and share some of those amazing things that are occurring. And we may not all know about them with the same degree of awareness. So I see that our colleague, CFO Crosby, is at the podium. So I'll defer to her in any comments or refinements she'd like to share.
Just one last item is we are working on a plan for an AI basic training for any board members who are interested in just beginning to understand the basics of it, and then doing some practicing some real world examples of searches and uploading documents into AI to maybe summarize. So Ms. Cushenberry and Ms. Colleen Beck-Unvarsky, who provides regular training to staff and students, will be involved, and we'll come up with some dates that might work for board members who are interested in sort of a basic training kind of scenario, and we'll get things started. And really, it's a system where you just play with it and see what it does, and you just understand it more and more as you use it. So that'll be a great opportunity. And our next meeting date is on this Thursday, and it will be via Zoom. So just wanted to make that note. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions for the Finance Committee? Mr. Smith?
I'll just say I'd like to thank the staff as well as Mr. Dallas for their for some of the change for the change that they're making. But I also still stand by what I by what I stand, even though that and I appreciate the staff for making some openings so that we can learn how to use the AI to help us to, I guess, get some of the information that I'm still saying that we're changing some of our methods in terms of how what all we're looking at and how we're looking at the information. And I just still say that I will stand by what I've said before. I won't go back on forth on it tonight, but I'll just still say I stand where I stand before on it. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. I understand that the band of the orchestra has arrived, so let's bring them in.
And Mr. Chair,
yes, sir.
There was actually something that I believe that we missed under the academics that we just need to make mention. If we could go back to that real quick, once the orchestra leaves or something.
Well, go ahead right now while they're getting.
Actually, the health in the health committee under the academics. Yes, sir. I don't know if I heard you, but I know that for our health advisory committee, we had some openings on that. And I know from participation from the community, we have 2 parents, 2 clergies, 2 students, 1 teacher, and 1 district employee. And also, I just also wanted to thank the staff, these people who volunteer, because they put countless hours in, and the amount of material that they have to read upon each parcel is probably about this amount of paperwork, and they actually go through it very thoroughly, and they put a lot of time in. So didn't want to have tonight leave without thanking the people who do come and who are a part of the health advisory committee, because they put a lot of work in, and we can't let that go unnoticed. But if anyone is interested, then please do let the district know that you are interested and being on that committee, because we are looking for people who are able and willing and welcome to help us out on that. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Ladies and move, that's really alive. Sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, members of the board, Dr. Rodriguez, thank you for having us here today. This is the Bluffton High School String Orchestra. They'll be performing two pieces for you today. They'll be performing, under the direction of Miss Lana Irwin. I should not forget that. My apologies. They'll be performing two pieces for us today. The first is La Bruja by Jorge Vargas, and the second is Blazing Bows of the West, arranged by Michael Story. Ladies and gentlemen, the Bluffton High School String Orchestra.
Great job. What movie was that from?
The Magnificent Seven. Yeah, and then the How the West Was Won. Yeah.
Good job.
Thanks so much.
Good job. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you guys so much for helping me.
Thank
Appreciate it. Yeah.
There you go, everybody. Nice job.
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right, the next item on the agenda is the Results Committee report. Ms. Hay, are you prepared to give that report?
Yes, sir, I am. I have a cough drop in, so I'm hoping I don't have a coughing fit while I give you this report. The Results Committee met on September 23rd of 2025. All individuals that are a part of the committee were present, myself, Colonel Geyer, and Dr. Carr. If my memory serves me correctly, Mr. Smith was available via Zoom and then came in person as well. Mr. Dallas was there in person and Ms. Frazier attended. Also in attendance was Dr. Rodriguez. We had 3 primary points of discussion that resulted in motions that will be before the full board this evening. Those discussions revolved around number 1, the board rating requirements for the 2024-2025 evaluation, and also for future evaluations. The second item was a discussion to the change of the measurable components section of the superintendent's evaluation. And the third point of discussion was the weighted percentage adjustment of the measurable components section of the evaluation, sorry, as well as the teacher recruitment and retention section of the evaluation tool. I should mention all motions that were presented. We had a robust conversation among everybody who was present. The majority of us were all on the same page, and all motions passed in committee with all members of the committee voting in the affirmative to pass the motions as presented. And I believe Dr. Carr has those motions to present this evening.
I do. I move that board members who are rating the superintendent at a rating of 1 or 4, they must include a minimum of 2 to 3 sentence explanations for each rating. Explanations are not to be repeated in the evaluation. Any repeats will be exempt from inclusion. This rating requirement will be effective for the 2024-2025 academic year and preceding years.
Is there a second?
I second.
Okay, Ms. Hayes seconds. Any discussion? Mr. Smith?
So could we elaborate on that? When we say that anything repeated won't be, what was the term that said it will be eliminated? Is that what was correct?
If the sentences that are given are repeated throughout the evaluation tool in multiple sections, the subsequent explanations that are repeats will be disqualified and removed.
Well, for one, I don't think that this board has that autonomy to to basically to disagree or to tell anyone in terms of how to evaluate the superintendent, because if that's our job, then that's our job. Now, whether you personally want to accept that, then that's upon you. But in all my years on this board, the board have never said that they are going to discount you for from what you evaluate. Because if my memory serves me correctly, even evaluating teacher, even evaluation at any job, you do the evaluation, but you don't evaluate the evaluator. And that's exactly what this sounds like. Like we are evaluating the evaluator, and that's not our job. We are all elected officials here. How we do it is upon us. And then if our constituents don't like it, then they vote us out of office. But I think that we are far reach in doing what we're doing. And as I stated at the meeting, I believe that everyone have their right and for the totality to do their job the way how they see fit to. I mean, I'm sure. Actually, I'll just leave that there. I think that right there is totally out of line. Let me say that.
Okay, Ms. Boatwright, you have your hand up.
Thank you, Colonel Geyer. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Coming from Zoom. I support the motion in some ways. I am concerned about the 4 requiring sentences, and I'll tell you why. I think that Dr. Rodriguez is our employee, and it is our desire that he be successful. And if someone feels that he is being ineffective in an area, I think it should be mandatory that they give him some feedback. That's what HR does. That's what you do when you are a leader, and that's what you do when you have an employee, because you want them to be successful. The difference is when you say someone is highly effective, and in most of these categories, the terms of highly effective are fairly well laid out. Having to put 2 to 3 sentences for each of those is going to potentially make a 4 feel like a bigger deal than it should be. Because in my having done this evaluation numerous times now, I've said on the record many times, I'm not a big fan of this instrument. But the way it's been done in the past, and we compare year over year, I believe his average score has been around a 3.7, like on a 4-point scale, possibly a 3. I can't remember exactly, but he's been in the high threes. Because generally speaking, at that time, and I'm not going to speak for the current board members, but previous boards have found him to be highly effective. I consider him a highly effective superintendent. I know my constituents consider him a highly effective superintendent. So I do want to make sure that people realize that if we think that a 4 is some sort of extraordinary rating, that could skew the year over year comparisons. And I don't necessarily think that if we're identifying that he is highly effective in an area, that sort of speaks to itself. I don't know what the feedback would be to let him know that, yes, indeed, he is highly effective. So I do have that concern about requiring 2 to 3 sentences for each 4.
Okay, any other comments? Mr. Nay.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Mr. Chair. I concur with Mrs. Boatwright. The 4s, we get a lot of material that shows how highly effective our superintendent is, as well as his nomination and appointment of or earning of the #1 superintendent of the state. I mean, but as far as the 1s go, I think it's absolutely unfair to give him a 1 without an explanation. I just don't get that. I felt bad because I gave him less than a 4 last year, and I didn't put an explanation. And then we had a meeting later, and I explained myself. But like a 1, absolutely. I mean, if anybody on the board believes that his conduct or his performance is a 1, how would you expect him not to develop from that if you don't explain why you gave him a 1? So maybe we can amend the motion to only include 1's required explanation.
If I
Other
can chime in
comments?
really quick, I was, the original motion did not include 4s. I'm happy to go the route where the requirement is only for 1s, as for all the reasons already stated by Ms. Boatwright and Mr. Nay. If we want to amend that, that's fine. Again, this was to open it for board discussion.
Okay, so since you brought the motion up, you can amend it If you want to take out the part about the 4, you can do that.
Yes, if we can remove the or 4,
Okay.
then we could move forward.
Miss Boatright?
Yeah, I was just going to make that motion to amend. So if we're just going to go ahead and do that, then that's fine with me.
Okay. All right. So other comments? Mr. Smith?
Once again, it still does not negate. And but let me ask you a question also. For when they're evaluating teachers, is there something that says that if you evaluate a teacher on a 1, that you have to give I mean, and not that you not normally would, because I believe that we all do speak to the superintendent at various times, and so I think that conversation is pretty much had during the time and throughout the year. But my question is, are we required by state law to, if a teacher have a 1 on evaluation, are we required to give them a reason why they have that? Could someone speak to that?
Miss Howard? Miss Walton? Miss Walton, could you come up, please?
Miss Walton's having a rough day. She's had 3 different names today. So.
Yeah, Alice.
So, Mr. Smith, to answer your question, if you give a teacher anything lower than a satisfactory, you do need to give them an explanation as to why. Because you want them to grow, you want them to improve, and they can't if they don't understand why they are receiving this score, especially if it's a score that's not satisfactory. So you would give them an explanation.
Right, and I do understand that, but my question is, in terms of, you said that by law it is required, right?
Well, I don't know if I would say it's by law, but it is a requirement that we do as a district, to say, yes, you do need to give an explanation if your score is lower than X.
Right. I understand that. I mean, and that's having empathy. So I do understand that. But my point is, for us to say as board members, oh, we're going to make this law that we're going to discount your evaluation if you don't have that. This board doesn't have the grounds, and that's why I'm asking by law. Is it for a regular teacher evaluation? Is there a law stating that if you give a 1, that you must give an explanation by law? And I think you've answered that. That there is not, and so that's my concern here today. That we're just first up. Thank you, Ms. Walton. And first off, there were some motions that were given prior to this meeting that I don't believe that all board members who attended that meeting had. So let me start by saying that by that too. And I remember asking months ago about having this meeting because Ms. Ingrid Boatwright brought up different issues, and a couple other board members last year brought up different issues about the tool. And when we came to the table, it appeared that the table had been set. And to me, I've had a problem with that. Also, we talked about last week about emotion, or about someone coming in one of our meetings and treating someone with empathy. And yet still at this meeting, my mic was silenced and I was told, Mr. Smith, no. I was treated rudely. So to get to the point of it, for us to have had motions that were kind of pre-existing and pre-term. I mean, for us to have motions is to seem like they have already knew coming in this meeting where they were going. I think it was quite wrong for someone who's been requesting to ask, was this a formality that we really even wanted to go? Did we want to keep this tool? That was not, I don't remember that be a question even being asked. I remember going over the motions that was given to, I believe it probably was given to Mrs. Cushenberry and to probably some of the other members of that committee, which was wrong. That goes to a meeting before the meeting, which is a legal meeting. So I just want to put that out there, since, when we're talking upon things of asking for in terms of this motion, I think this motion, I'm not sure where it's derived from, But I think that is it's not ethical, and I don't think that it's law. In fact, I know it's not law.
Ms. Boatright, your hand is up.
Yes, thank you. I would like to remind, we are not a judicial body. We do not make laws. We govern by policy. We are an administrative board, and we are setting a policy, and we have sole discretion in setting the policies to how we will evaluate the superintendent within the confines of what the state law requires. We are well within the confines. It is unfortunate that we have to make this a formal policy because it should just be good behavior of someone who is in a leadership role in terms of guiding and directing their sole employee, into which we entrust 21,000 children and several $100 million. Like it is to a certain extent silly that we even have to make this a policy, but we are absolutely entitled to make this policy, and we do not make laws at any point. That is not what the Beaufort County School District does. We are an administrative board. We rule by policy. We can make our own policies. We can enforce our own policies if we have to. So I just wanted to make that clear.
Okay, thank you. Any other comments? Mr. Nay?
Oh,
Go ahead, Mr. Dallas.
I just wanted to say it is pretty common practice in well-run organizations that if you give someone a low score, that to help them, you identify specifically what you saw that necessitated that score so they can have an opportunity to change it. So that's one point. The other point, to substantiate what Ms. Boatright said, under coherent governance, the board sets the targets and the board sets the policies, and then the board steps back and allows his superintendent and his entire or her entire staff to move forward. So I think that's what we're doing here. So I'm very comfortable with it. And then the last point is that I have to give recognition to the leaders and members of the results committee because they did change their mind. And so there was that opportunity where edits were suggested. They accepted those. So I'm seeing the process being fairly thorough and fair at this particular point. So just wanted to share that. Thank you.
All right. Mr. Nay?
Mr. Dallas already said a lot of what I was going to say, but I was going to say, for example, GC4, Board Member Code of Conduct, we place a policy out. We have a policy of a code of conduct that we're supposed to follow, and that is imposed upon all board members, and it was voted on when it was voted in as policy. So yes, if we have a board, as the majority of the board votes on it, even the minority that didn't vote for it still has to follow the policy. That's the whole point.
Mr. Smith?
And also go off of even past practices of this board. It was also stated that that board policy is not law, and so that's why I referred to the law. So I didn't ask to speak to an attorney today, but not necessarily saying that I don't disagree with what we're asking for, but in terms of being heavy-handed and saying that, look here, that if you don't do this, then we're not. Listen, we all elected officials. Y'all can't no this board, we hadn't done it in the past, and no board has the right to say, hey, we're going to discount or we're not going to count your evaluation based upon if you don't do this and that. To me, that's one of our sole jobs. So who in the heck are we to say because this person didn't do it? An evaluation is an evaluation. When you turn a test in, the teacher grade the test off what you turned in. If you don't want to do it, hey, you can come out open session and say, hey, look at we got this score. A certain Mrs. Smith gave this score, Mr. Dallas gave this score, Mr. Carr gave this score, and based upon there's feedback on this one. But to go out there and to come out here publicly and say, hey, we're gonna come out with that, that's my agreement, but that's my disagreement. I'm not saying that, hey, if you give them lower than this right here, then tell them what it was based upon. With that, but the problem is the heavy-handedness, and then prior saying is that board colleagues saying that board governance is not law. So if we have to pick and choose which one, we can't go back and forth and use which one we want to when it's convenient. So that's why I stick with the law, because the law is what keeps me safe. So I mean, regardless of whether you like what I say or not about it, that's where I stand at. So I don't mind telling people, and I'm not saying that I'm opposing what we're saying in terms of doing it, but the heavy-handedness of telling us there's certain times where we're in executive session or we're in certain places, and we talk about, even out here, we discuss a thing and we say, well, you know what? We think the superintendent and his staff has it. We don't need to put it in motion. We don't need to put a motion in. But here now we're saying, oh, we must put a motion in. So which one is it? So because if we're going to put a motion in for this, then every time we give the superintendent direction, then maybe we need to put a motion in whether him and his staff got it or not. So I mean, that's just another way to look at it. We can't pick and choose when it's convenient for us or when we feel good and then preacher get you all riled up and make you feel, what is it going to be from here on out? That's what I'm actually doing.
Okay. Is there any other comments for anybody? Are we ready to call the question? All right. All those in favor of the motion in the room?
You need to vote first on the amended motion.
No, because the person that amended it is the person that provided it.
Okay.
So we don't have to vote for that amendment.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Should we reread it?
Yes. Yes, Mr. Chair. I think we should reread the motion as it is.
Yes, let's find out. Let's reread the motion then. Ms. Cushenberry, do you have the motion?
I move that the board members are rating superintendent at a rating of 1. They must include a minimum of 2 to 3 sentence explanation. Explanations are not to be repeated in the evaluation. Any repeats will be exempt from inclusion. This rating requirement will be effective for the 24-25 academic year and the preceding years.
You removed the 4.
Right.
That's okay with Dr. Carr.
Preceding years would be the years before that. Do we mean the following years?
Yes, the
It's
following year.
proceeding. Proceeding. Yeah.
Proceed.
Proceed.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
I'd like to make a supplement motion of that.
I'm sorry.
I'd like to make a supplement motion of that.
Go ahead.
Could you put the motion back up? I'd like to take out the part about the explanation part. I think, let me see, explanations are not to be repeated. I'd like to take that part out of it. That's heavy-handed.
Don't we need to vote on that?
It requires.
Yes, we will have to vote. He's
So
made
why
a
are we
motion.
moving forward with the original motion?
Because it's called Robert Rules of Order.
I'm not
so
asking Mr. Smith, I'm asking the chair.
Yes.
I figured you'd say that.
We're going to have to allow him to make an additional motion to this motion because it causes the original motion to change. So we have to vote on if he has a second.
Right.
But he's made a motion. Is there a second for the motion?
A second.
Go ahead.
Second sentence.
Are you removing explanations are not to be repeated in the evaluation? Any repeats will be exempt from inclusion, or just explanations are not to be repeated in the evaluation?
What you have,
I can
what
speak
you have
as
right
chair
now.
of the results committee, the whole point of saying that explanations cannot be repeated through the evaluation is so that somebody can't copy and paste the same thing that doesn't account to different, let's say in staff relations, you can't give him the same 2 to 3 sentence explanation of why he'd be rated a 1 for example, staff feedback, staff communication, personnel matters, delegation of duties. those would all need to have separate explanations because they're separate matters. But if someone sits down and writes the same 2 to 3 sentences for each of those qualifying areas, those would need to be exempt because it shows that the person's not really giving valuable feedback.
Okay, I understand. I understand what you've just mentioned, but we have a motion. But we don't have a second yet. So Ms. Gordon has seconded. Okay, so now we have a second, and now Ms. Hay has brought up why she believes that motion should be defeated. Is that correct, Ms. Hay?
Correct. I'm just explaining why those sentences, they
Right.
serve a purpose.
Right. Okay. There any other questions on this motion, Mr. Smith?
And just to respond to that, what she just said is that it could possibly be the same thing, but what you're saying that you just in your explanation you just showed basically that exactly what we're trying to stop from doing. You basically just said that you're trying to be heavy-handed and tell someone how to do their job or delegating to them what they must do as a board
No,
member.
sir, I'm not.
As-
I'm trying to have us give valuable feedback to the superintendent so that we're behaving in a fair
Point of order,
manner when we're
respectfully, don't talk while I'm
evaluating.
talking to you.
Ms. Hay, please let Mr. Smith finish, and then we'll let you respond. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. To me, I think this is a middle ground. Is still allowing that to be in there, the 2 or 3 sentences, or to give the explanation without being heavy-handed and saying that if you don't do A, B, and C, that we're going to not count your evaluation. To me, that part is what's the clinch, is what makes me clinch, is saying that if you don't do it my way, how we tell you to do it, that we won't count it. And this is one of the most important things that for board members to, the part of our job, functions of our job. This in finance and finance. So to have another board member say, or for us to tell a board member that we're going to discount what they say because we don't like it and we don't like how they say it, or if they don't do it the way how we want to say. Listen, you don't have to like what I say. That's not for you. That's not for you. And how do you know in that sentence? We could put down a paragraph, but we will further discuss that with the superintendent. So once again, I think it is. You're driving us to tell us what we must and what we cannot do, and if we don't do it your way, then you're silencing our voices. To me, that if we don't do it your way, that's the most loud thing that you continue to scream. Even when you came across this now, and you disrupted me. That's what your point was. Is that, hey, no, it needs to be this way. I get the point. I'm coming to middle ground and say, hey, the 2 or 3 sentences or a paragraph or whatever, that's fine. But the point of discounting a board's members right to how they want to do it, I think that could bring us to legality. I mean, so because we don't have the right to tell a committee that we don't want to hear what they have to say, or tell a board member that you don't have a voice. Thank you.
All right, Ms. Hay, you now may respond.
Nope, just move on with the motion, please.
Good
Let's
move.
go on with the motion. All right. All those in favor of this motion to remove those words, please signify by saying aye here in the room.
Aye.
Mr. Small, you vote aye. Mr. Vote is aye too. Okay. Aye and aye. And all those online, Miss Gordon, how do you vote?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Mr. Dallas, how do you vote?
Can you restate the motion just so I'm clear, please?
Okay. Please restate the motion.
I move that if board members are rating the superintendent at a rating of 1, they must include a minimum of 2 to 3 sentence explanation. This rating requirement will be effective for the 24-25 academic year and the the years.
And Mr. Chairman,
You
can I have a
understand?
point of order
That's,
for just
I
a
don't,
second?
I don't think that's the original motion, is it?
It's not, what
not.
we're voting on is the amendment. So what we're
It's
actually
amended
voting on
motion.
is to
Okay,
remove those sentences.
there you go. That's what I wanted to hear.
Yeah, sorry.
Yes,
Okay.
Mr. Smith
And how do you vote, sir?
requested that the repeat.
I vote nay in terms of removing, now I'm
Okay.
confused.
I have it. Thank you.
Yeah,
Ms.
I vote
Frazier,
against this
how do you
motion.
vote? Ms. Frazier, how do you vote?
Nay.
Ms. Hay, how do you vote?
Nay.
Ms. Boatright, how do you vote?
No.
Okay. Pastor Gordon is not here. Mr.
Yeah, he's here.
Oh, Pastor Gordon? Okay. Pastor Gordon, how do you vote?
I vote nay.
Nay. And Mr. Smith votes yay, I presume. Pastor Gordon is aye. Dr. Carr, how do you vote?
Nay.
Nay. Mr. Nay, how do you vote?
Nay.
And I vote nay. Motion fails. So we go back to the original motion. Could you read the original motion, Ms. Cushenberry?
I move that if board members are rating the superintendent at a rating of 1, they must include a minimum of 2 to 3 sentence explanation. Explanations are not to be repeated in the evaluation. Any repeats will be exempt from inclusion. This rating requirement will be effective for the 24-25 academic year, the preceding years.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Pastor Gordon, how do you vote?
I vote yes.
Yes. Miss Gordon.
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Smith?
Absolutely not. No.
Okay, no. I will vote yes. Mr. Nay?
Aye.
Aye. Mr. Small?
Abstain.
Abstain. Okay. Dr. Carr?
Yay.
Yay. Mr. Dallas?
I vote A. Aye.
Okay. Ms. Frazier?
Frazier, aye.
Aye. Miss Hay?
Hey, aye.
And Miss Boatright?
Aye.
So the motion carries 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 yay, 1 nay, and 1 abstention. Motion carries. Do you have another motion?
Yes, there should be a
Yes.
second motion with Dr. Carr.
Okay.
Second motion. I move that the Board of Education accept the following recommended changes to the 2025-2026 evaluation instrument. And there's 2 parts to it. 1, remove gap closure from measurable components section of the evaluation tool, and in its place, the addition of superintendent's projects. 2 to 3 projects will be selected by the board and the superintendent.
Okay. Is there a second?
Seconded?
I'll second.
Seconded by
Or
Ms.
Mr.
Hay?
Lincoln.
All right. And would you like to explain the motion, ma'am?
Sure. Gap closures was something that was instituted during COVID. Now we're 5 years out from that. As far as I'm aware, that has essentially closed and is within range. So we wanted to implement something that's more measurable for the superintendent that we can have measurement on throughout an academic year. The projects as proposed, we would vote on as a board. Those can be, like it said in the motion, 2 to 3 projects annually. Those can be large projects. They can be academic focused. They could be technology driven. They could be safety implementations for schools, but it just gives us something tangible and measurable to hold Dr. Rodriguez or any, future superintendents to account. So that's really where that thought process came from. And again, this was a motion that was fully supported at the results committee meeting.
All right.
And there is a second part of the motion.
The second part, go ahead.
Decrease teacher recruitment and retention from 15% to 10%, given the weight of 8% to superintendent's projects, 12% to achievement, and 10% to college or career ready.
Okay.
And if I can comment on that really quick, this is probably one of the main areas Mr. Dallas was referencing, that it was a teamwork strategy. I had come in, as chair of a committee, you need to prepare for these meetings. You need to have specific ideas that come from research and your own experiences in the world and in your careers. Teacher recruitment and retention. We were trying to drop the weight of that to give more weight to the student achievement section, especially seeing as we have a national teacher shortage in general that's out of the district's control, and frankly, out of the South Carolina as a whole. It's out of our control when it's nationwide. It's a drop in those interested in the teaching profession and people leaving the profession who have actively been engaged in the profession. So it's difficult to recruit and retain staff. So again, we were taking 5% from teacher recruitment and retention and moving it to the student achievement section. And once we dove into that student achievement section, it was a group effort to wiggle around the percentages we landed on, had a ton of thought and discussion behind the percentages given to achievement, the projects, and college or career readiness.
Okay. Any other questions, comments? Mr. Smith?
Oh, you go ahead.
No, go ahead, Mr. Smith.
Go ahead.
I'll get my thoughts. You can have it, Mr. Dallas.
Mr. Dallas, go ahead.
Oh, okay, I just want to applaud the committee and the members who participate in this very vibrant conversation for increasing the importance of achievement and college and career ready. And those are two areas where we not only judge ourselves, but the larger society judges us as well. So I appreciate the flexibility and the comfort with listening to disparate points of view and moving forward. And so I think this passed unanimously, if I recall correctly. So thanks to the results committee. Thank you, sir.
All right, Mr. Smith.
I was trying to make it quick. I'll state as I stated earlier. I think that this evaluation tool, and it has been brought up. I think this evaluation tool should have been looked at from a wider scope and not a kaleidoscope scope in terms of bringing in where the committee chair and the colleagues wanted to take this discussion as someone who sat on this board for years, for at least 7 years, and when have went through this process. I think that every now and then, as my colleagues like to talk about AI and as the world evolves and times evolve and things change, just keep the same tool and just change maybe a couple of things on it. It makes me want to do is that what we really mean when we are saying that, or are we just saying it because it benefits us at that time? Because I do believe in being consistent. And with that being said, I think that my second point is that the conversation should have been more of, is this still the tool that will get us towards the goals of our district or toward the goals of our board. And lastly, I will give credit, that conversation was have in terms of what need to be changed. But I think that it needs to have a different look. I think it was more of a quick, just to kind of get us over, and to say, hey, we made a change. There you go. But I think if we want our students to be the best and the brightest, then we have to put the necessary time in and to understand the tool. Because once my question is, do the new board members do they even understand the tool that they will be given to evaluate the superintendent on? Do we have a conversation about this? Do they understand it? I mean, and how are they sure? Even about the governance. So to me, this brought up a whole bunch of conversations and questions. As my colleague next to me right now is blowing, because he's ready for me to get done with this conversation in terms of respect. This is conversations, and this is a part of being a board. We can disagree and agree with each other, but still stay professional and still be nice, and still make sure that everyone learns this and everyone understands differently, and that they're understanding what they're doing. Because once again, this is one of the most important things that we do on this board, is to evaluate the superintendent. So I just want to be clear on that. Thank you.
Okay, any other comments? Mr. Nay?
Then maybe we should have this conversation in January. How about in January, we propose a future topic somewhere in a board meeting to bring up the evaluation, as opposed to
Having this
never
conversation
mind.
right now, right?
Yes. Yes, as opposed to having this conversation right now.
Or
On
have
the eve
people
of-
bring alternate tools to the table.
I find a hand. Let me raise my hand. Because if we wanted to get rid of the superintendent, this would not be the only tool that we have to use, or the tool that's necessary to be used. So this whole conversation shouldn't last this long. Can we vote and move on, please?
Okay, we have a motion and a second. We need to have a vote. So we'll call the question. I will call a roll. Pastor Gordon, how do you vote?
Aye.
Miss Gordon, how do you vote?
Aye.
Mr. Smith?
No, because I asked months to go over before this tool, several months ago.
So
go back and look at the record.
The answer is no.
The answer is no, due to that.
All right. My vote is aye. Mr. Nay?
Aye.
Mr. Small? Aye. Dr. Carr?
Aye.
Mr. Dallas?
Dallas is aye, sir. Thank you.
Aye. Thank you. Miss Frazier?
Frazier, aye.
Miss Hay?
Hey, aye.
Miss Boatwright?
Aye.
Motion carries 10-1. Is there any other motions?
No.
Nope, that's it.
Concludes.
That's it. That concludes the results committee.
Yes.
Thank you all.
Miss Hay, does that?
Yes, sir, it does. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. The next item is the technology committee. Miss Boatwright.
Hello. Thank you so much. And I'm going to keep it short and sweet. Basically, you can see the documents there. We are getting some better data and better data visualizations about some of our hardware issues. What is front of mind right now for the technology committee is trying to go out into the community, into parents, teachers, administrators, community members, and talk to them about technology, how they feel about it, and what direction they think would be most beneficial for the school district to take. There is so much going on in the technology space. It is not about spreadsheets or hardware or network speeds. It's really fundamentally reshaping the job market. It's having a huge impact, and that impact is going to grow at a pretty high rate here over the next few years. So I think as part of one of our primary missions of preparing our students to become productive citizens, we need to teach them responsible, ethical use of technology. But that's a tricky subject. So we have tasked poor Mr. Shohan with coming up with surveys that we are going to roll out to hopefully in November and utilize the SIC to really try and get parent feedback and to really try and get feedback from the community as a whole to sort of give us a little bit of a snapshot as to what the public is thinking and feeling about technology and in terms of setting technology strategy. So it's a very big first bite and it's a big first step, and it's what we're going to be focused on this fall. And I'm happy to take any questions.
Any questions for Ms. Boatwright?
Colonel Guy, I have one at the appropriate time, sir.
Mr. Dallas, go ahead.
Ms. Boatwright, thank you for taking this on and leading it with vim and vigor. Play on volunteers in medicine.
I was going to say.
When I went through the budget book prepared by the finance group, boy, there's so much detail in there. And one of the things that I really looked at is the growth in certain populations and the decrease in other populations. And so the question becomes, surveys is critically important that we penetrate all the different demographics, not just those, and I know you're very versed in this, not just those that are easily accessible to us, but is that something Mr. Chowan and yourself are considering, making sure we get normally underserved populations, high income populations across the spectrum?
Absolutely. And that's why we're going to try and lean into the SICs of all the schools as sort of the parent and community representatives for each school to figure out how they can help us get that survey out to the population. Because you're 100% right. If you do it on the website, it's going to skew to people like me who are, interested in technology. And we absolutely want to capture both ends of the tail here and make sure that there are people. And as you have brought up numerous times, that the important issue of there are a lot of people in our community who are not even connected to Wi-Fi. And we need to be aware of that. So I think that leveraging the knowledge, school-based knowledge of the SICs will really help. I'm hoping that through that we can find other avenues, community events, school announcements, the different ways that each individual school has found successful in reaching their diverse parent, student, and community population. So that's kind of where we're starting with. And what we'll have to do is just sort of see what kind of result we get and consistently reevaluate to see if we can get a more diverse survey set of results. So that is absolutely top of mind for this survey.
Okay, if I could just add one small comment in support of what you're saying. I think if you were to go to, which I'm sure you already considered, but inquire with Community Foundation of the Low Country United Way of the Low Country. Also look at the philanthropic and religious institutions across all theologies. And I think that would be really approaching a survey that could be statistically valid.
That's an excellent suggestion.
May not be achievable, but it will help us. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you for those excellent suggestions, and we will make any efforts. And if anybody else has any suggestions, feel free to direct them to me or to Mr. Chohan.
Any other comments? Okay, thank you, Ms. Hay. The next item on the agenda is Superintendent's Report.
Thank you, Mr. Guyer and board members. This evening under student achievement in the superintendent's report, we're going to be talking about the advanced courses and the update regarding the advanced courses that we offer within the school district. Dr. Stratos, whenever you're ready.
Thank you, Dr. Rodriguez, and thank you, Chairman. I do want to start this evening with sharing that our presenter, Ms. McKinsey, this is a presentation she had worked on at length, and she wasn't feeling well. It's very rare. And I want to put that forward. I wanted to share that with our board members because she does put a lot of hard work to represent and produce for us as a system. So we can go to the next, thank you. So I do want to take a moment and really start from the first row where we're talking about AIMS, also known as gifted programs that we provide at the elementary. And this is the entry level for our students for advanced programs. We recognize that identifying our children for gifted and talented for academics and the arts starts early. We also recognize that at second grade, we have placement. That placement actually goes all the way through our students as they cross the stage for graduation. What you see in the second column are our schools that actually have a direct focus on choice gifted programs. I'm not saying that our students who are gifted and talented are not served at all of our 18 elementary schools, but this is directly called our AIMS program. All of our elementary programs have the provision for gifted and talented teachers, and our students are serviced, as well as I want to take to one point that we have schools that we have students that we stretch, that we blend, that Mary may show a little more stamina, a little more chutzpah, maybe a word that's used, and they may put Mary into that gifted and talented class as well. And there's benefits of that for all of our children, which you'll see in the first column. If we can tap onto the academics, we've also found that it decreases the number of behavior, but most importantly, it keeps Mary from being bored in class. Our next item, thank you, we could say there, Mrs. Cushenberry, are honors courses, which are available amongst all of our schools here in Beaufort County, from K through 12. Even in the area of career technical education and junior ROTC, we now also offer honored weighted courses. And thank you to our academic committee who has approved those local board courses for us. Another area we have is BCS Tides. We're in our second year. We're serving about 94 students north and south of the board in these programs right now. Dual enrollment. Board members, you were very generous at providing. We service over $1.2 million in students in dual enrollment. It is a very generous gift from our board. Not all school districts in South Carolina pick up the bill, and we do for tuition as well as for books. And the opportunities you give to our families is threefold. You give the student the opportunity to earn credit, cost effectiveness for our families here in Beaufort County, and you're giving me an opportunity as a student for early college credits at an early part of my life. Cambridge. This is probably one of the main reasons I wanted to take an opportunity to share. Cambridge is another advanced program that we have. Battery Creek has a pathway, as does May River High School. In a later time this year, we'll bring forward some of our data points with May River, but I do want to tout something that is overlooked at many times, and the principal is very shy, Dr. Webb. He doesn't tout that May River High School has some of the highest national scores in Cambridge testing. I want you to also look at International Baccalaureate, Hilton Head High School, the 6th highest scores for diploma course assessments in the state of South Carolina. And then we also know our advanced placement courses. To share with you, last year, Bluffton High School serviced over 700 advanced placement tests. That is a significant amount of assessments for schools. Thank you, Mrs. Cushenberry. So what we look at here are the preparations. How do we kind of get our students ready? We've started with AVID, right? Self-advocacy for students, helping to develop the frontal lobe development for our students. And others I've shared with you, board members, that it helps our students learn how to learn. It's a college preparatory program. It has started within 2 of our middle schools now. One is Beaufort Middle. The second one is Hilton Head Middle. Our goal is to have it at a high school north of the board. Goal as well, we will have, actually do have at Hilton Head High School this year, being funded through federal funds. Leader in Me. One of the beautiful attributes of this program, getting our students ready for college and advanced courses, is setting goals, efficacy, agency, my ownership of my learning. And then I'll draw your attention to the academic and arts opportunity for our students, and that is the opportunity for our gifted students that I shared with you earlier. And I would like to share with you that we are very much aligned to the National Association for Gifted Children. That is one of the strongest associations in our country, and our work that's being put through our gifted and talented lead educators, as well as through Scarlett Mooney, who also heads our TIDES program, is helping us build that program as well in the district. So advanced program research based on outcomes. I wanted to give you a little of the why. Honors, and I will share this in all of the advanced classes, enhances critical thinking, gives the opportunity for increased GPAs. Those of you who have students in high school, you know how competitive that GPA is. What is my class rank? And it provides a competitive edge for college admissions. We recognize here in Beaufort County that's a 5.0 weighting. Not all states have that. Florida, it's a 4.5. South Carolina, it's a 5.0. So South Carolina actually provides a little edge, extra edge for our students here in the state. Our TIDES program, we share with you that as well as our Royal Branch Early College, students have the opportunity of graduating high school with a diploma, with one associate degree, and then let's add a third associate's degree. And this January, we're going to be adding our new phase to that, working with our career technical education through culinary at the Culinary Institute. They were kind of saying in a low tone, TIDES 2.0. Next slide, thank you. Cambridge, I've given you some information regarding the performance of one of our stellar high schools. And what does it do as well? It deepens the level of subject mastery, conceptual thinking and understanding, research skills. One of the tightest courses that they offer is called General Paper. Student basically for the whole semester here, because we're on a 4x4, is that opportunity to learn how to dive into a topic and write a strong research paper. I'm looking at you, Dr. Carr. You understand how that's necessary as we go into post-secondary opportunities. But not even for that opportunity to communicate should I choose to go to a technical college. That thought process. International Baccalaureate. What's the difference between IB and AP? Let's look at it. AP is a national test within the United States. IB is a global test, not just the United States. So should a child really want to go to Cambridge and study with an IB diploma, provides other opportunities. I think that's a clean way of having that comparison. One more thing to keep in mind is that AP has a national standard for their syllabus. So a student could move from South Carolina to Georgia and an AP Lit course may not be the same book, but is focused on the same approach at breaking down the literature. Take you to what is some of the support that we have for our students to get you there. School counselors, teacher mentoring. Actually, our director for school counseling this week presented a program that shows to the point tracking of our students who are in high school. Are they ready for graduation? Are they passing their classes? They also could be used for middle school. Can we identify our students who can go onto the track? One of the areas that we're building skill set at, because we will have Ms. Middleton as well as Ms. McKinsey attend the AP College National Conference this week, to have AP be part of our practice of conversation on the AP readiness that's a result of the sitting for the SAT and actually the PSAT. So is Mary ready to go into this course? Let's use multiple points to schedule students into advanced courses. Shared with you TIDES, it's on a TCL campus. There are 2 locations, New River and the Mathers campus here in Beaufort. We provide district tutoring. Tutoring is not just for that student who is having a struggling reader, but providing tutoring as well for the students who we want to stretch or who need that extra in AP Calc. How many of you taken an AP Calc test? I'll be quiet. And then our extended learning, which is a phenomenal partnership that we provide for our students in our communities. Right now, we have 11 sites. We're building on 2 more additional sites coming on board. There will be south of the board. That's an additional partnerships that we're building with the Boys and Girls Club. So in closing, just a reminder of the commitment that you as a board have made to our community. So Beaufort County School District is committed to offering our students an opportunity for advanced coursework. Advanced coursework improves students' academic skills and increases their chances for acceptance to their selected colleges and universities. Advanced coursework also provides a higher level of skill and ability for students moving to a career or military pathway after high school. Advanced learning opportunities provide challenging content structures to develop critical thinking skills, research skills, and foster lifelong learning. And board members, that's because of the work and dedication you also give back to our schools. So I want to thank you for that as well, and to our superintendent. Thank you, Chairman.
Questions, comments? Mr. Smith?
First, I would just like to say I thank you, Dr. Scrattis, for this great presentation. in terms of our advanced courses like college prep and IB courses, is it the district practice that at the high school level that in order to get in these courses that we give you a test that you have to test to tell whether you can enter these courses or you can't? Is that the district practice that you can test? We test you to see whether you can be put in these classes or not?
It's my understanding that a placement opportunity may be established at some of our high schools in order to determine if the student has the potential by which to meet the rigor and depth of the course. It is not a requirement, but some schools do have a placement in order to help schedule students.
And so my question then will become, if that's the case, then if that kid would not be, some of us even like to say everybody's not a test taker. So that kid's not a test taker, and they crash out on that test, but they do have the skill set to handle their work. Then how fair is that to the actual student? Because that's concerning.
We have to recognize two things. So some of these courses do require an exit exam that does have an impact on their grade as well, sir. So there's a balance that a school counselor has to take under for analysis. Do I have Mary start with an honors class to build her capacity and her confidence? Do I have Mary have that opportunity for tutoring to build her and stretch her? Excuse me. And then the opportunity as a 10th grader? Let's sit and give that opportunity again. I don't believe it's a practice of the system to close the door on students' opportunities.
I mean, and I do hear you, but I just had a couple parents.
But thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I just has a couple parents who have brought that to my attention and saying that they think that that's kind of that's concerning because to the one of the parents said that she thought that could be what's the word? Let me use her word now. Basically, she thought that could be not discounting the kid, but oh man,
May I ask if that parent could possibly reach back out to the school counselor to see if there's additional tutoring and a step of going into an honors class first at a 5.0 weighting before they go into a 6.0, so that we're giving our students the opportunities, as I've shared with you, that we work as a system to do. Can we make that suggestion to the parent if they could reach out to the school counselor?
Well, actually, I was at a meeting, and actually, that kid was coming in. I think that kid was a. I don't know who the parent. I don't know the parent. I think I was at a meeting in the parent. I think it was a military parent. And this kid was coming in or something, and the parent was telling me that, excuse me, that those. Discriminatory is what she said. She said that she thought that those was discriminatory practices, and that she thought that was kind of unhealthy. She said that her child may not do well in terms of that, but in the continuing of an understanding and being able to process the information, she thought that he would do well, and that he had previously had some of those courses, and so that's just what else. I mean, I'm just telling you, what kind of what. I didn't really know her like that, but that's a little alarming.
If you could help with the advising, every parent has that opportunity to sign a waiver to have their student go into an advanced course.
That's good to know.
That choice is out there for our families. Right. So it may be, I may be recommending Mary to start at, let's just say, an honors course, and you may feel differently for your child. You have the right to ask for a waiver. Okay. Always keep that in mind. On the flip side of that, we also give the opportunity for a student, if they feel they have that acquisition of the content of an AP literature course, they could petition to go and sit and basically clep that class and sit for the tests. So we do have opportunities and waivers, and even let our students sit for a test if they haven't been in the class as well.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yes,
that's definitely good. No, that's why communication is so important. But what I told her was, I said, I charged her, I asked her, charge her with the thing of, I said, once you maybe go back out to the school and have to ask speak to the principal and see if there, what y'all can, what ground, common ground y'all, because I said that I don't never think that and know that's not our intentions to, discount student or not offer a student that opportunity. So I asked her to reach back out to the principal, and the principal didn't meet her satisfactory, didn't come to the district. But like I said, I didn't know her. She was real kind of standoffish, so I didn't want to piss her off any more than she was already ticked off at that moment.
You gave her the right advice, but you can share, we do have waivers that parents may sign.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Other questions, comments? I have a comment. Did I hear a voice?
Yes, just Pastor Gordon.
And Pastor Gordon, all right, go ahead.
Yeah, I guess my question is the Ames program, the accelerated Ames program. That's for the elementary, correct?
Yes, sir, that is.
Okay. Well, is it any way that we could track the performance of our students compared to district and state?
I have done a comparison within the district, sir. I don't have the information with me.
No,
I don't, but unfortunately, I do not have access to the student information system, right, SIS of other districts, but I could put a question to our department, both Brett Fritz and Nicholas Flowers. I could inquire with them, but I know I don't have that capability of comparing GT Beaufort, tracking it to GT. I'm just going to use Aikens for an example right now, but I could inquire deeper on that.
Okay. One of the other questions was the retention rate. I mean, do we have kids that be like, and it is a program of choice. Do we have our parents that say, well, I want my child in it. Then after they get in there, it's like, oh, well, it might be a little bit too much, because now not only the child is digging a little deeper, so is the parents. So is there a retention rate on it? Like some kids coming in and go ahead.
I do apologize, Pastor Gordon. I do review the retention of third grade where we recognize it's mandatory. I have not seen gifted and talented children being recommended for retention at third grade as a result of not meeting the state requirement on the SE Ready reading. So that experience I haven't seen at that level, because that is where retention is a requirement. But what I can share with you, if a family feels that the work is too rigorous and you did give that child the opportunity, no one would leave a child without support or having that opportunity to talk and say, well, maybe there's another fit for the student. That we want our children to have the best experience. And in the high school level, we have up until 10 days under state guidelines to shift a student from a class without it having anything negative onto a student. So in our TIDES program, I actually had 2 students we're into our second year who we rescheduled back to their high school because they just felt it was a little too much. So we will, that's the beauty of flexibility, sir.
Thank you, Ms. Stratos. It's awesome. The programs are awesome to recognize our overachievers. Thank you.
Any other questions? I have one comment. Last spring, my oldest grandson graduated from Beaufort High, graduated from Clemson School of Engineering in 4 years. The reason he graduated in 4 years is because of the advanced placement tests that he took in Beaufort High. He told me that less than half of engineering graduates are able to graduate in 4 years. So that saved his father, my son, considerable amount of money. And that's something that, we should probably advertise a little bit more to our parents that this is a great program. My second grandson is in his junior year at Clemson in pre-medical, and he is on track to graduate in 4 years because of the advanced placement courses he took at Beaufort High. It's a big deal.
Yes, it is.
And it's something that we should make sure that we get that kind of statistics out to the public so parents know, get your kid in advanced placement classes.
If I may just build at that, Chairman Guyer, the ingenuity of our superintendent, Dr. Rodriguez, is working on ways of getting that information out. I assure you, sir.
Mr. Smith.
I definitely hear what you're saying, but to me, I'm still, I would be concerned in terms of how we move that forward, especially if it's not district led. I believe that Dr. Scribes probably said that we have certain high schools that may do that. So when we're having if we're having different tests at different schools,
They all do it.
Not agree with that, but I think that my point is that if we're going to do something of that magnitude, I think it would need to, the initiative of that would probably need to be district led to keep us safe, because like I said, the way how that parent and how she put it, that could possibly not go over if she came up here and she elaborated. Like I said, I gave the clean version of, and the angry and some points that she did have, to me, did come across as concerning or alarming us. So I just want to say, in terms of how, if we did move to that, then I think that the district would need to put their spin on it, or they will need to certify that just so that we're being safe and we're being fair to everyone, is being equitable across the board for all kids. So that's one thing I will say, and I stand by. I just want that to be stated, not questioning not questioning the legality of it or the whether it's for the good of the kids. I'm sure it should be good for good of all, but I just want to make sure that we're carefully behind what we're putting out in terms of a product. That we can stand behind our product, and if anyone comes up and has objection to it, that we're safe. We're safe with putting that out. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you, board.
Next, do you have any other parts for superintendent's report, sir?
No, sir, that concludes
All right.
superintendent's.
And board business action, Dr. Rodriguez read the donation from FWDG Furniture Store in the amount of $5,000 to Robert Small's Leadership Academy for school supplies. We need to have.
So move.
Okay.
So move on that motion.
You make the motion? All right. A second by Mr. Small. Any discussion? All those in favor in the room, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Online, Pastor Gordon.
Aye.
Miss Gordon.
Aye.
Aye. Mr. Dallas. Mr. Dallas. Okay. Miss Frazier.
Frazier, aye.
Miss Hay.
Hey, aye.
Miss Boatwright.
I think she's left.
Alright, is left.
Okay, Miss Boatwright's left. Is Mr. Dallas?
I'm muted.
You're muted, sir. All right. Well, nothing heard from Mr. Dallas, so the motion will carry. We had an affordable housing update, and Mr. Dallas was going to give it. I don't know if Mr. Dallas is still available. It doesn't look like it, so we won't have the affordable housing update at this time. Consent agenda. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second. Second by Mr. Small. Discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor in the room signify by saying aye. Aye. Mr. Smith? Aye.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Gordon? Pastor
Aye.
Gordon?
Aye.
Miss Gordon? Thank you.
Aye.
Thank you. Mr. Dallas? Nothing heard. Miss Frazier? Miss Frazier? Nothing heard. Miss Hay?
Hey, aye.
Thank you. Miss Boatwright? Miss Boatwright's not on. Motion carries.
Colonel, I'm back. I had to step out because of some physical matters. So I vote aye.
Okay, you got an aye? Okay, can you also give a update on the affordable housing?
Absolutely. Thank you, sir. So, was able to attend the affordable housing update put on by the Beaufort Jasper Housing Trust and was held at the Palmetto Electric. And so it was a very fascinating presentation, and I'll be brief. But they had a lady, a Dr. Laura Ulrich, who is the economist for Indeed, economic research. And we all know about Indeed. It's a heck of a jobs site. A lot of people have gone, and the presentation was a revelation for me. It looked at job growth pre-COVID and post-COVID by generations. Sobering summation that Ms. Ulrich shared in her very high volume deck. This is the latest generation that will not be as wealthy as the baby boomers, which are the wealthiest generation in American history. And she went into what causes that. So the baby boomers and subsequent generations have benefited from support programs such as the GI Bill, which helped educate all strata of American society, including returning World War II veterans and subsequent generations for decades. So that group was able to actually go to college on some extremely beneficial, low-cost entitlement programs, academic programs, and they were able to buy homes. The best example of that is Levittown, which is on Long Island, which was started in 1947, which enabled people who didn't have a lot of wealth to actually be able to get a home. As the economy and populations have grown over the last 60 or 70 years, all of these baby boomers have basically generated from tremendous home appreciation prices. And so they're sitting on their homes as well. There also were concerted efforts via HUD and other federal and state programs that help post-war generations not only get housing, but also low entry for jobs, training programs that help them boost their net worth and also continue that appreciation of wealth. And then Dr. Ulrich turned to the challenges faced by more recent generations, the millennials, the Gen X, the what have you, which are automation, global competition, privatization. And she highlighted that the job experience today tends to be more entry-level service jobs, which she had a graph that showed the percentage of new jobs created and what the median salary was, which pay less with fewer benefits, if any. College costs have gone up, and the loans that were basically relatively almost free during the early stages of the baby boomers returning from war, those, as we know, lending has been privatized, and so the private sector has to get their cut. And she had an eye-opener presentation, which led to that these are hurdles. Now what must be done? That led to the second phase of the presentation, which was there were about 32 people. They divided us up into 6 groups at 6 different tables. Was a mixture, developers, financiers, what have you, in background expertise, people who are affordable housing professionals, and sitting next to bankers. And each table shared their ideas with the larger groups. So let me tell you some of the things that they talked about. Developers said they cannot build a house in Jasper or Beaufort County for less than $300,000. That is a heck of a starting price. And the question is, can the threshold be lowered? What has to be done to make it feasible? What are the biggest barriers? One of the biggest barriers is the cost of land. I think that's pretty sort of intuitive, but what I didn't realize is that some of the codes, for example, on the island and other places near the shore, near the water, you have to have a much stronger lower floor window in case things come flying through your window. Financing has gotten a lot more expensive, and then also infrastructure. So roads, which the cost per mile for infrastructure and roads is just simply amazing to me. So there have to be changes that are made that were discussed to allow people who are starting out, our students, as Ms. Boatwright mentioned earlier, her daughter comes back looking for a job along with her peers, highly educated, highly motivated, what have you, but there just aren't the number of jobs that there were relative to the size of the economy. The other thing that was mentioned is ADUs, which are alternative dwelling units. And they recommended that one of the simplest ways to populate is to put an ADU in an area where there's already an established neighborhood. So the ADU inhabitants will benefit from an established neighborhood with good networks that can help them sort of, get ingrained into the system. And a lot of opportunities come from your network. So the thing that I left with is that the exercise was very, very eye-opening and sobering, actually. And then lastly, we had this last segment where the president of the Beaufort Jasper Housing Trust, local developer and global business leader, Dick Stewart, spoke on the value of supporting development for the greater benefit and growth of the community. Key data points on the Beaufort Jasper Hampton Trust, which I did not know, they've deployed $2 million in basically a year and a half since 2024. $700,000 in grants to nonprofits and one local government to repair and preserve. They've supported affordable income qualified housing and then programs such as home buyer assistance for working family. My take is it was a very informative event where hopefully the reality that major efforts will be needed to sort of jumpstart affordable housing so it can be in reach of those, our kids in many cases, who would love to come back, but they just don't have the employment opportunities. Excuse me. There are some booklets that were distributed, and one of those is from Strong Towns, which is a think tank production, the Housing Ready City, a toolkit for local code reform, and then the National Association, excuse me, Home Builders Blueprint to Address Housing Affordability Crisis. The Beaufort Jasper Housing Trust can help us get those. And if, Mr. Chair, I'll defer to you, but we're certainly happy to follow your guidance and lead of the group, and if that will be of interest to the rest of the team. And I appreciate the opportunity to have gone and participate.
Thank you. Is there any comments or questions? Mr. Smith?
In terms of this meeting, how did who, where, what, when, why, and how did we get invited, or did someone get invited off?
Yes, I was invited to come in and talk to them. I had no idea they even existed. And then they gave me a briefing and asked if I would attend the meeting that Mr. Dallas attended. My wife had a hospital issue, so I was there with her, and he attended to provide information and mostly to gather information about affordable housing challenges in Beaufort County. So that's how this happened.
Okay, that's pretty interesting. But also, just off of what Mr. Dallas has presented, also you were talking about the cost of the process. And one thing, if I was there, one thing I would want to say if y'all got back together was that one thing is very important in terms of even bringing our young people back, in terms of affordable housing, is there's a impact fee. And before you can even put the house on the land, that's not even including purchasing the land, you have to pay roughly about maybe $7,000 or so in terms of before you even before you can even move the house to the land, and that a lot of times it trips up people, even younger people who may have someone could possibly give them a good deal on a trailer. So on top of that, of someone giving you a good deal on a house, to even put it on that piece of property, the county is putting about $7,000 minimum on top of that to you. And the question becomes, where's that money going to, in terms of utilizing of that money? So, I think that was something that could have been discussed there as well. That huge impact fee and what that looked like and how that hinders people from coming home, because that's a lot. So I mean, and God forbid you got it in the wrong place. Depending on what you're moving, to get someone out there to even move a mobile home, it's about $5,000-6,000. So if you got it in the wrong place, you got to call them again and pay that price again. So those are just things that would go good into that conversation and understanding what this conversation and what it really entails of even bringing our younger working class back to this area, or even helping them to even get their own homes. Thank you.
Yeah,
Any
Mr. Chair, can I respond?
Go ahead.
Yeah. So Mr. Smith is correct. There was a broad area called codes. Codes, impact fees fall under the discussion of codes. So that's one of the things I think the community has to organize and understand and have some very detailed insights into what is elevating the cost. The cost of land is high. But when compared to the infrastructure that has to be put in, the roads, the sewers, the drainage, those types of things, protecting the water environment where there's drainage, we got to protect all those things, and so that is written into code. So it would benefit the community. I know back in the day, the religious institutions used to sort of pull people together and do that. And so it may fall to, people in the public who just say, hey, I want to learn more about it and show up. There was no resistance I detected whatsoever in terms of expanding it. Beaufort Jasper Hampton Trust actually is looking for more allies. So that may be something for all of us to consider. Thanks for bringing that up, Mr. Smith.
Yep. Okay. The next item is a consent agenda. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Mr. Smalls made the motion, and a second by Dr. Carr. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor in the room signify by saying aye. Aye. Online, Pastor Gordon.
Aye.
Thank you. Miss Gordon.
Aye.
Thank you. Mr. Dallas.
Aye.
Miss Frazier.
Frazier, aye.
Miss Hay.
Hey, aye.
Thank you very much. Motion carries. Next item is future agenda topics. Do we have any future agenda topics? Mr. Smith?
I was asked about the athletes who won state championship awards last year for track. I know we sometimes we normally bring them in before the board to acknowledge them. Our last year athletes, we need to bring them up as well. So that apparently we have some state championships from last year that we didn't bring up.
This is last year's?
Yeah. Normally like when we bring up state championship athletes.
They were here. Yeah.
No, they're kids that who were not here. They're kids who weren't here.
Mr. Chair, may I
I
also?
don't think they were. I don't think they were absent. I think it's something that we can let the athletic department look into, so that we can get some clarification on it. I from what I'm understanding that they were not. They were not here. And they were not brought up. They were right. They were not recognized, and I think that parents want their kids to be recognized for that. So I'm track and field. I'm bringing that because
right.
Yeah.
Any other future agenda topics?
Colonel Guy, if I could just briefly note that the boys and girls track and field teams won state championships, and here's a plug for the budget book created by our finance department. Those two winners are noted in there. So, I don't know about whether or not they've appeared before us, but the efforts are being made to recognize them. Thank you.
It doesn't have to, just FYI, it doesn't have to be, and track is a little different. You can have individuals who win state state championship versus a teams that win. So a team is different versus the actual kid who could have won number one in the disc could be throughout the state. So we wouldn't want to overlook that student if we're acknowledging other students, and it could be just a miss or overlook. So it's a minor thing, but it's been brought to me so the parent enough. So I'm just saying let's look at it.
Okay.
Thank you. That's
All
simple.
right. Thank you. Are there any announcements?
Oh,
Mr. Smith?
I just wanted to thank May River, Mr. Carr, and I went to May River had a Hispanic Heritage Month program over there. It was top notch. It was very nice. I enjoyed the kids, enjoyed the staff. They even told us they need some new speakers over there. We told them to put that in the budget. I'm gonna put that in the budget, and we see where it ends up on the list. But I just wanted to definitely acknowledge them and thank them for the opportunity for having the board over there and being able to see that. So happy Heritage, happy Hispanic Month. Also, to this month is also breast cancer awareness. Listen, I think that it's very important that we embrace those who are going through that, our staff and people who may have different issues that we may not know about or may even know about. So that's why I want my paint to support of that, because we can't put a price on that. And as well as I believe this is also violence. What is it? So I don't want to miss it. I don't want to get chewed out about it. I think it's domestic violence. I think this is also domestic violence month as well. So I just want to give, if you know someone, there are hotlines that they can call. So I just wanted to put those things out there, and we support, I support all those things and all those causes because they're very important. And you see me wearing tonight our Beaufort County Youth Conference shirt. I mentioned it at the last board meeting that if anyone wanted to come, we did have members of City Council come. We had members of Port Royal who came, and every member who came, Beaufort City came, some members came, the mayor. We allowed them to speak to the kids. They spoke to the kids. You'll be surprised. And my message tonight was supposed to be upon what the shirt said. Basically, the kids said that they want to be heard. They need help with. It says ... Actually, that's not the title. Kids need a better way to deal with ... was the, so in terms of kids want to be heard. So that's why it was very important. At the last meeting, I offered everyone to come to the meeting. So next year, if you get a chance, it's very important that you do come so you can hear what the kids of our district want us to know. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So now we have second public comments. Mr. Miller, thank you for your patience. Your topic is kudos to Whale Branch Band.
Yes, kudos to Whale Branch Band. Let me just first say, we're in the middle of and near the end of the marching contest season, and I haven't followed or don't have the means to follow Whale Branch as much as I would like, but I think, and you folks that are there in the area may correct me, but I think this is the first time have entered a contest. And I really appreciate it. And their show is in its preliminary stages, but they are also going to the state contest. And that's really gratifying to me. The state contest, you might think of going to state like a football. You have to win one game, you go to another, and the state contests are available to any school. You don't have to proceed and qualify earlier. Everybody qualifies. For grade 4, I did a little calculation, grade 3, 3A and 4A, about little more than 80% of the schools go. Here in Beaufort County, we're going to that contest is a week from now, and we're going to have 2 out of the 6 schools go. But my congratulations to Whale Branch. I'll also mention Beaufort. It's the first time they have been in some contests. I think the best I can recall is about 4 years. And so I see things moving down and improving and getting more involved, and I appreciate that. Thank you much.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Smith?
Mr. Chairman, I think it's, I have something on my heart I want to make in terms of announcements I wanted to say tonight. When we were talking about the evaluation process earlier, there was a comment that someone said that the evaluation tool is not the only way to get rid of a superintendent. And I just want to say that I don't think that was healthy to say. And Dr. Rodriguez, I just want to look you in your eye directly and say to you publicly, I don't have a problem with the job that you're doing. That is never my intention. I just like to be consistent and on the principle. The conversation tonight had nothing to do with you because you could get offered a $1 million job tomorrow, and this person who comes in, that we still have to come to agreement on that tool. So it's about the tool and not the person, and we should never make it personal. When we make it personal, is then we get in blood conversation with each other, and that part is unhealthy. And so I just wanted to let you know that publicly. I didn't want to take that home and that be on my heart, and I wanted to get out before I leave. And I mean exactly that. It's about the tool, not the person, and that's what we have to understand as board members. Thank you.
Thank you. If there are no objections, we will adjourn by unanimous consent.
Okay, thanks everybody.